up. Clap it up.
What's up, y'all? Happy Monday. Welcome to Real Estate Divas.
Hey, y'all. Happy Monday.
I'm Miss Madison Realty of Christie's.
Candace of Group 26 Real Estate. Kathleen of Remax.
And today we have a very, very, very special guest, Mr. Sterling King. Let's give it up for him. Now, not only is Mr. Sterling King an investor, he's also a new restaurant owner. So we're going to dive into all of his new great investments later on. But first,
how was y'all weekend?
how was that weekend? We're going to put Sterling on the spot first.
Yeah, Sterling,
Boom.
tell us. How was your weekend?
How was your weekend, sir?
Well, my weekend was amazing.
Awesome.
I was with my son and daughter, my two blessings that really have me running around the world. So we was tearing up the city, and we had an excellent time.
Awesome.
How old are your babies?
My daughter is 6, going on 26, and my son is actually 14.
Oh, he's a big boy. All right, so being that he's 14, he's a freshman.
Yes,
So is he in school now?
it's half and half. It's he's doing some schooling at home, and then the other half he's going to school.
How does he like that? Like, we always talk about the younger kids. So how is that as a teenager doing Zoom?
Well, you know what? He was doing well in the beginning. He was making the honor roll from week to week, and then he started to slow down, just having a little bit too much time to himself and his new girlfriend that I found out about.
Oh.
Yeah, so his mom and I, we really checked him on that note, and he's doing really well again. And we just went shopping, and I took care of him the other day when we were here.
I'm curious, what kind of issues was the girlfriend
Yes.
posing?
Well,
This his first girlfriend?
absolutely.
Look, Auntie Maddie like, this his
Right,
first
that we
girlfriend?
asking-
Absolutely. So I'm so stressed, and it's so crazy.
But no, you had a girlfriend, I'm sure, at his age. No,
You're 1,000% correct.
exactly.
Yeah. So the problem was already these kids, like the new kids, right? The kids of the new generation, they already have their phones in their hands daily. So now he have a connection with someone. So he's on the phone 24/7. He was staying with me one night, and I walked into the room. It's 1:30 in the morning. I hear somebody talking. I'm like, who's on the phone 1:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
And it's him and his girlfriend, which is kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy?
Yeah.
Are they the same age? What she look like?
Well,
Right.
Break it down, break it
Well,
down, break it down.
they're a year apart. He's 14. She's 13. I guess she'll be 14 in a few months or so. But they have a cool relationship. They go ice skating, go to the park, and things of that nature. And
So he's dating her. He's
Yeah,
he's
Yeah.
courting her.
Courting her, yeah.
absolutely.
He got a job.
Oops.
Right.
Well,
I
he's
just
gonna
need to
start
know.
working with me
Nice.
and learn the business. So he'll definitely have one sooner than later.
No, I was just asking because, you know, as he go on these dates, I would assume he's covering the bill. So that's why I was just asking, does he have a job? Because dating could be expensive, I heard.
You ain't kidding. It's so funny that you mention that because I gave him $100 over the weekend, and I asked him, "So what you gonna do with the $100?" He's like, "I'm gonna try to do something with my girlfriend." It's
I
like,
know that's
okay.
right.
Sweet. You're raising him very well, Sterling.
Very well. Then okay, so they went ice skating.
I'm trying
He
to be
said
productive.
the movies. Did they do something else? This new love. So they're on the phone until 1:30.
Yeah, the mall and things of that nature.
Yeah.
It's nice to see the kids still go to the mall. Like growing up, we used to go to the Cherry Hill Mall, you know, to just go to the mall. So so that's nice that the kids still go to the mall. That's cute. That's cute. Shout out to Sterling's son and his new girlfriend. Don't be mad.
Oops.
Oops.
Kat, how was your weekend, boo?
It was pretty quiet, laid low this weekend. Caught up on some rest pretty much.
And someone had a birthday on Wednesday. Can we get some burn? See, Kat is half asleep. We're going to try this again. Kat had a birthday.
That was all the way last week. I done celebrated throughout the week. It's a new week. Rested.
That's how you know you old. You know?
Right.
You young, you be having like a birthday like for a month.
I celebrate the full month. What?
The whole
month. I always
Like,
say it's not my birthday, it's my birth month.
Still hashtagging, it's still my birthday. Like, listen, we are exhausted. Well, Kat, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
My weekend. Well, actually, I went to a comedy show on Friday. For those of you guys that don't know, I love to laugh. I am extremely silly and very clumsy. So the key to my heart is to make me laugh. So I had a really good time Friday
Was it
at the
good?
comedy show. It was dope. It was good. Good times. I love a good laugh.
Right.
Custom, what you do this weekend? Did you work this weekend, Custom? 'Cause you know how you do.
I know. I did work. I've been working more nowadays. So, yeah, I was out here. I went to open houses, which I don't do with buyers, but
Yes.
Right?
How was that?
no, I finessed it. I'm the type, I'm going to show up an hour before the open house here.
And
Because
just wait.
I can't do the whole lines. I can't do that anymore. Yeah, but I worked. That was it. That was pretty much it.
I actually attended now. If you are a first buyer, a first-time home buyer, I mean, this is your first time going out, I will actually attend an open house with you so you can understand what to expect, because I will not be attending other open houses with you. So that way you don't feel that I'm throwing you to the wolves, because I'm
Right.
actually like structuring our showings by the open houses, because
Yeah.
now what they're doing, they're actually having the first showing as the open house.
Talk about it. I was waiting
So,
for someone to say that.
I mean, how else am I going? How will I be able to get around that? Sterling, I forgot. Ricardo said, "What's good, my boy?"
Hey,
What's up? What's up?
I told Ricardo to come on Zoom. He's actually coming on the show in 3 weeks, I think. The week after next, he's
Nice.
coming on the show.
The closer.
Yes, to talk about. That's exactly what he said. He's going to be coming on the show. But yes, agents, and also to stop sneak open houses. I don't know who needs to hear this, because we'll have a scheduled appointment and you get there and it's a whole open house.
Yeah, that's happened to me before.
Are you guys
too.
experiencing that? Like,
I
first it
did.
stopped, but then Sunday it happened again.
I did.
Don't have me drive a whole hour when you out here fake jacking. I'm thinking I could have sent the borrower herself while I assisted someone else. Hence, I get there's a whole line down the street.
Yeah.
Here go the COVID form. Boo, let me know if you like this house, yes or no. Mr. So Endless, what's going on? So that was definitely my weekend. Just
Going to open houses.
just foolishness. Just didn't talk about highest and best,
Yeah.
as always. So
this
how do you
market's
feel about
crazy.
that, Custom, since Custom's
Since
been
I'm back
on
to work.
a whole vacation, which is quite needed, because think about it, like when you an artist, right, rapper, singer, you take a break.
Yeah.
But your music is still going. So while she's
Yeah.
taking a break, her deals are still closing.
Yeah.
So now she's coming back to work and she's like, so y'all been doing this?
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
Because everyone kept saying, like, so how's the market? Is it been? And I'm like, it's great, because I'm still working off, like, when COVID first started, when no one wanted to be out. I'm like, I'm still closing deals from back then, since 89. What they say? I'm still cashing checks from 89, right? So I'm coming back, and I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Honey. This is a whole new market. Like within the last year, it wasn't like this last March, last April, because everyone was still at home, scared.
It wasn't like this 3 weeks ago. Like I think the market is changing every week. Drew, you're an investor. What's going out there? What's going on? Tell us something good. Tell us, please.
It's crazy.
Yes, definitely crazy. Let's hop into, should we do the chat line or y'all want to go right into the hot topic?
Well, let me just tell them how they can call in. If you want to call in, you can dial 646-233-1302. Again, 646-233-1302. Or be a part of our live Zoom audience. And the Zoom ID is 858-229-5110. I always say it like it's a telephone number.
It is.
It is, but it's like, but you know how you do like, okay, so let me say it again. It's 858-2293-5110.
And don't forget, if you have a question to ask Mr. King, please feel free to call in or send us a message, and we will get your question answered.
Yes.
So we're going to hop into these hot topics. So congratulations. Yesterday was the Oscars. Now, I haven't watched the Oscars in a while, but I heard it was actually fantastic. We learned that Miss Regina King looked fantastic in her blue dress, looking like a fox, looking like Friday 95? She hasn't aged. She looks exactly the same. She looked beautiful.
And she's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous woman.
Is those eyes and that body in her 50s. Ladies.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm jumping across, but have y'all seen Angela Bassett recently?
Lord.
I'm like, she looked better than a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds. Like,
yes. If that's what 50 is looking like,
right?
I'm behind the bar. And ladies, at 50, if you're in your 30s and you're not looking like,
right,
we're going to call her Mrs. Wait,
Aunt?
what's her maiden name?
What's auntie?
No.
She ain't auntie.
She
is
not auntie
fine,
status. Fine. And her husband is fine too.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, he chocolate.
You like
He more like blue.
Sterling,
you know
what you think
like
about
blue.
Angela Bassett?
She's dope. She's beautiful.
Good answer.
She's
dope. She's beautiful. Her muscles. I think she still got muscles from what's love got to do with it. Let me borrow those muscles next weekend. Yeah. Please. I got somewhere to go.
Yeah.
I want to borrow her muscles. I want to borrow her body next weekend.
Well, we were talking about Regina King. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got sort of sidetracked.
Yeah.
But Mr. Daniel, I hope I am pronouncing this gentleman name right. I think it's pronounced Kaluuya, the gentleman from Get Out. He actually won Best Supportive Actor from The Great Messiah. Let's give it up for that. Ooh. So I actually have not had a chance to watch The Black Messiah because it came out during Black History Month. And I was trying to preserve my peace. So I have to watch movies like that at certain times. So now that it won Best Actress, Best Actor, that he won Best Actor, I'm definitely going to check it out sometime next weekend. So congrats to him. Also, for Best Animated Movie, it was Soul. So let's give it up for Mr. Jamie Foxx. He was the voice behind that the main character. So I started watching Soul on Christmas, but once you start eating and hanging and gathering with family, it just becomes, as cats say, a blur. So I'm gonna definitely check it out since I am a big fan of music. And lastly, we all know the beautiful Her, although she hides behind her shades and her long hair. She actually won Best Song in a Movie. But let me get back to you on the movie. On the movie.
It doesn't even matter because
right?
her voice is so, I love her. I love her. She's honestly like, to me, like a young Mary J. Blige. Remember when like Mary would be like, yeah, because you know Mary, she'd be like, she wasn't singing like little fa la la songs. Like
Not
it was like stuff she was going through, right?
Real
so
pain.
And you could tell her been through a lot, and she like. Yeah, she sing like I like her. I like her a lot, for real.
I think her voice is dope, and I'm really big on her song Damage. The first time I heard that song, and I was like,
like that's the type of
Who made you mad, girl?
Yeah,
that song. If you can relate, you can relate.
She's good.
If you can't,
I like her.
You gotta you haven't lived, as they say. You have not lived.
She's good.
Well, let's get into my cousin on my daddy's side, Moneybag Joe.
Uh-oh.
So
call him Uncle Joe. Uncle
Money.
Sleepy Joe. No, he's not sleepy no more.
That's Sterling cousin. So
Right.
Uncle Moneybag Joe,
Right.
he's giving out some more of that STEMI money.
Stimmy.
He's giving out an additional $3,600 per kid. So
Wow.
if you got more than 2 kids, hit me up. Because y'all know I don't have no kids.
Right.
I would love an additional anything to
That's
my
a down
account.
payment on a house, though. 36
Talk
and you got
about
3
it.
kids. That's
Talk
what?
about
That's over
it.
12. Well, no, that's not
Do
over
the
12
math.
grand. That's
But
like
that is a
yeah,
down
over
payment.
10,000. Yeah, for sure.
Can you repeat that? Because I don't think they heard you.
Uh-oh. Is this on? Let me stop. So silly. No. Over 3 kids. Yeah, 36 times 3, whatever that is. That's a lot of money. It's over 10 grand. Sometimes you don't even need that because he's giving 10 grand.
15.
15 now?
15,000. I'm
They
waiting for
raised
them
it to
sign that-
15?
They raised it to 15. So
Oh, that's
you got
crazy.
15,000 from Joe,
That's
Uncle
crazy.
Joe, and then you got another 3,600 times as many kids as you have. So
Right.
it sounds like it's time for you to do what?
Buy a house.
Buy a house.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like.
Yeah.
And let's give it up to the Latino community because they actually home ownership has increased 19%, and they have 600,000 Latinos have actually purchased from last year. So congratulations to them. That's amazing.
But you know, I know they're saying it's an increase. So I actually have a lot of Latino
Clients?
Yeah, a lot. Like to the point where I have I have people on my team who speak Spanish. Like, so they're
That was smart.
translating. Yeah, like and I have lenders. Like they're all. So it's interesting because to me, Latino buyers have always, to me, more than African Americans. Just maybe in just my area. But it's good to know. I mean, that they, are they over us now, or like, is it like neck and neck?
It didn't say. It just said that 600,000. That's almost 1 million people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of people for
Yeah.
like one demographic to have superseded in buying a house. So congratulations. How do you say congratulations in Spanish?
Oh, damn, that's a good question.
Help me out, guys. If you know
I'm
how to
normally
say,
good with that.
don't have me go to my Google.
Español, yo no entiendo.
Say it again,
What is
Sterling.
it? What is it?
I just said
Let me
I'll
see.
understand you in
Siri? Let me
Spanish.
stop. Right.
Ain't too much. Guys, if you know how to say congratulations in Spanish, please let me know because I would like to say congratulations.
It got to be like Bienvenidos or something like that. I
You
don't
know what?
I don't know.
Ramoni, do you know how to say congratulations in Spanish? Or maybe you
Oh,
do mocha.
It's felicidades.
Oh. Talk about it.
That's the Google Translate. I live by this app with my
You know
clients.
what? I am done.
Yes,
Can you say
yes.
it again, custom?
Felicidades.
For those that are just tuning in,
Yes.
the Latino community has increased their home ownership. So we were trying to relate and say congratulations.
Yes.
And to say it in Spanish is custom.
Oh, felicidades.
She played too much. So we're going to hop into this interview with our good friend, Sterling.
What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
Uh-oh.
What's poppin'?
What's going on? Before we get into your interview, tell us where you're from
Well,
originally.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York, Brownsville. My parents are from Charlotte, North Carolina.
You
and my
never
dad is
told
from
me
South
that.
Carolina.
That market is
We
picking
could be
up.
cousins.
See?
Absolutely. Just a little black history. My grandfather, Samuel Douglas, owned the Negro League team,
Nice.
the Charlotte Red Sox, and my great uncle Pringle Ferguson owned a Negro League team as well, the Charlotte Black Hornets.
Awesome.
Fancy.
Supposedly, he was the richest black man in the South at that time.
We need some
Nice.
buttons on that cat.
Burr, burr,
Talk-
burr, burr.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That
Yeah.
generational wealth. Favor ain't fair.
Well, well, it didn't actually work out that way.
Aw.
You know, it's funny. I didn't learn those things until I was about 36, 37. I just learned about the history in my family. My parents are from the South, but they moved to New York, Brooklyn, Brownsville. Grew up in the Plaza. I would never change anything about it. I learned so much in that neighborhood, but at the same time, our history wasn't brought with us, so I knew nothing about entrepreneurship. Only thing I was taught to get a city job and make something happen. My dad is a retired superintendent for transit, and my mom, she's a retired teacher. My sister is a teacher. My brother worked for transit. His girl worked for transit. So I'm surrounded by people that work for the city. But yeah, so unfortunate when it comes to history and knowledge and passing down generational wealth, how that can just get cut and you would know nothing about it.
Yeah.
I agree. I like how you said that you started, at the age of 36, because it's not to say that 36 is late, but some people, they fear, is it too late to change careers? Never.
Mm-hmm.
And 36 is still young, but sometimes at 36 you're pretty much set up in a certain, field, right? So some people are sometimes afraid to make that switch from having a 9 to 5 to being a risk taker. So shout out to you, Mr. King.
Yeah.
Camille, what's
Right.
going on, cousin? So
The question, and I like how you mentioned, like, why is that why don't our families tell us? Because, like, it wasn't until I got older where I learned, like, my grandfather, he had multiple properties in New York City, and, they were sharecroppers in North Carolina and Charlotte. Like, there was never a discussion like, oh yeah, your grandfather's an investor. It was like, oh yeah, grandpa's going down to the buildings, down whatever. Like, so can you explain, like, I mean, you're an investor technically. What is an investor, and like, what do you do as an investor?
As an investor, in a nutshell, just to piggyback off of what you said, Madison, like being a risk taker is so imperative because I speak to so many people every day that want to invest, but they're hedging. Oh, should I do this? Should I do that? But in my mind, I believe the biggest risk is not taking one.
Right.
Like, you can go through life and go through your entire life and don't take a risk. How? Like, I can't even
that's too safe.
imagine that. Yeah,
That's
it's just
boring.
too safe. But people are accustomed to that and they're comfortable with that as well. So when it comes to investing, it's about taking a risk and understand pain and success, that goes together. Success
you.
comes
Ooh.
with pain.
Can we get some buttons on that?
Mm.
I don't think they understand. I'll wait till you finish to say my little spill on that.
Yeah, that is, it's so crazy because it's levels to invest in, right? I speak to different investors and things like that, and they want to play it safe and do things and play it safe and pretty much try to ensure that they're going to get a return on their investment. But at the end of the day, when you in this game, is win, lose, or draw. And you
Amen.
got to be comfortable with all three. And investors that become really successful are the ones that are comfortable with all three. Because
right.
there's been times when I've took major losses and or I lost to win. And a lot of people don't understand that. They always want to win, win, win. Sometimes you got to lose to win or draw to win. So that's the key to this investing game. And that's how you separate, like, the investors that's dancing around. You remember how we played double dutch and before you jump in
No shade.
before
You
you
don't
go
know
in the
nothing
rope.
about double dutch.
No
You
shade.
wasn't.
I know.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Well,
You was
well,
watching
I
the
was
girls.
watching.
Yeah, you was
I was
around
watching.
the girls. Yeah, you was watching it, right?
But
right.
the
Yeah.
dudes be jumping too.
No.
Nah.
The dudes was
Nah, I'm not gonna co-sign that. for
Yeah,
you
no,
right
the
now.
guys. Well, maybe a yeah block, Maddie.
Yeah.
but
I'm not
dudes wasn't-
sponsoring
They
that.
was turning.
Yeah, I'm not a sponsor. I can't endorse or sponsor that right now. But yeah,
Right.
that's the key to this investor game.
So
Being
what
able to
is
be-
it exactly? Like what is like to you? Like cuz there's different types of investing, but like what is an investor? What do you do? What does Sterling King do as an investor right now?
What do I do as an investor right now? I
Yes.
identify opportunities.
Okay.
Right, opportunities where I can make margins and a profit. Looking at the margins and making a profit. So whether it's real estate, identify a property in an area that we can fix and flip and sell at a higher margin and make a profit. And also when it comes to franchising and BK Lobster, identifying areas where we can place a franchise and make a profit as well. So that's what investing is to me. But it all goes back to, I like to simplify things because we get technical and we go into this and we go into that. But when I'm speaking to whether it's a novice investor or an investor with experience, it all goes back to being able to have the balls, so to speak, the vision and the guts to take a risk and pull the trigger.
Right.
And understanding those three things that I mentioned before: win, lose, and draw. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to come out on the other side as a win, but you also got to have it in the back of your mind that you can lose. When I go to AC, because I like to gamble as well.
What do you
I'm
play?
not an
Uh-oh.
addict, okay? But I like blackjack, and I play a little roulette. But when I go to AC, prior to going, I know already this is what I'm going to spend. This is what I'm going to spend, win, lose, or draw. So whether I win, lose, or draw, I'm good because I already know this is what I'm going to spend. And this is how I'm going to have a good time. And that's cool. But some people don't understand that. And when they lose, they spending all their money trying to get it back. And you don't
Yeah.
have as much money as the house.
Trying to hustle backwards. I
Right.
like how you
Exactly.
keep going back to taking the risk because a lot of people will take the risk playing the lotto every day, which is so costly. So why not take the risk in investing?
What was
That's so true.
It's
You know
true.
what? It's like you a mind reader because I was thinking about that on my way here. Like, because
you was
just
gonna
like
stop and buy some tickets?
oops. You know what? I
Poor
probably
man's
played
dreams.
I probably played the lotto personally probably twice in my life just because. And I know people, and just for transparency, like my parents, they would probably play the lotto or numbers
The
and things like that,
Yep.
right? And they could spend anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 a year doing that because it's something that you do almost every day. But we
3-4
willing to
times a
do
day.
that. Yeah, and it's so crazy that you mentioned that because I was thinking about that, and we willing to do that, but we won't take the other risk when it comes to looking at investments and diving in and doing it from that perspective.
Ooh, preach.
I agree.
That's
What's going
good.
on, Dwayne and John Doe Realty? And Ricardo said I only played once. Mm-hmm.
So you got one on me.
You got one on you. So, Sterling, what were you doing? I mean, you mentioned BK Lobster, which I guess we'll dive into in a second. But before we get into that, what were you doing before you were an investor?
Well, prior to becoming an investor, I was working in corporate America.
How was that?
You know what? It was cool. It's like sports actually, because it's really, what have you done for me lately?
Absolutely.
That's how that game is, and pretty much I was the top executive in my entire company. But just to go back, I started off as an agent. My field was risk management, asset protection. I was in corporate America retail. My office was on 34th Street. I spent about 16, 17 years in corporate
You working since you was
America. pretty much, right? My pops had me throwing watermelons and throwing papers too. But yeah, so I started at $8.75. That was my starting rate when I was working at $8.75 as an hourly agent, working overnight, living the dream, working overnight, because I didn't have to deal with customers and management and things like that. Just had to implement different programs, make sure we wasn't losing merchandise, and it wasn't a lot of waste or anything of that nature. But a gentleman, an executive, stopped by my store one day, and he seen something in me that I never saw in myself, and he was like, look, I'm going to take you from being an assistant, being a agent overnight, and you're going to work in the daytime, and I'm going to make you an assistant manager, just from the programs that I implemented. But from a performance perspective, did I deserve that? No, because they didn't know I wasn't really doing my job at 1,000%, 1,000%. And guess what? I was horrified. I was terrified to take on that position and that role. Like, I'm all about transparency, being humble, being vulnerable. Like, from a reading perspective, I was terrified to read in front of people that may have
black people are.
Yeah, exactly that, and has a different education background from me, or have more years on the job than I have. I didn't know how to create a business email. I didn't know how to do anything, but he saw some type of leadership skills in me that I didn't see, and I was mad as heck for
so
2
you was
weeks.
Scared to succeed.
Exactly.
As many are.
Right? Because I say you
drop
either
a bomb on that.
right, because you're either scared to succeed or scared to fail. Right? It's either or.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's like one of the two things that I always talk about to our investors, is about our biggest dream killers are fear and being comfortable. Those are the biggest dream killers, and I was comfortable overnight, and I had some fear going into the daytime and having to conduct presentations and things like that, and speak to managers and talking, this corporate voice. I didn't know anything about those things, but I gradually got promoted throughout the company, just constantly adding value in other people that looked like myself. Maybe didn't have a huge college background and things like that. I added value to those guys, and they succeeded. And one other thing is their goals outside of the company was important to me as well, whether it was whatever hobbies they liked, their kids, or anything that they wanted to do. Like, I helped them with those things as well. And those people was pretty much, they helped me constantly get promoted throughout the company, and I owe my entire career to those guys. So I went from 875 to working myself to be the top executive in the entire company.
That's awesome.
In my field. I was wrongfully terminated as well. But go ahead.
Not
So that's the-
wrongfully terminated.
That's
But
the
hold
question.
up.
Go
Wait,
ahead.
notice
ahead.
how he didn't say what the shift in the money was. He just said from 875 to top CEO.
Right.
He ain't
right.
said a different in
And
the coin.
And I'm sure it was a lot. It was a big coin, a big jump. So
yeah, 'cause
how?
he ain't say.
Right. So how did you go from going from corporate to, you said you were wrongfully terminated, to investing? I mean, how did that happen, and how long have you been investing?
Well, I've been investing for 3 years.
Okay.
Nice.
And so for about 3 to 4 years, that's when I was wrongfully terminated, about 4 years ago. And it just happens like that, because like I said, it's just like sports, right? And one thing with sports and with corporate America, and especially when you at a corporate and an executive level, when the new regime come in, they want their coaches and their assistants and everybody who they're familiar with, right? Because they want to make sure they have each other back. So I was supposed to train someone else to take my job, which I wasn't going to do.
Good for you.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that. So he just figured out a way to let me go. And trust me, that negative was a total positive for me. And it's not because of the position that I'm in now. I'm always grateful for any experience that I have. And with my background, being in corporate America, being exposed to these executives, these vice presidents and presidents of different companies and things of that nature, I wouldn't have never gotten that exposure if I didn't work for that company, because I didn't have a college degree. I only had a high school diploma, right? So that was pretty much my business school.
Nice.
So everything I learned there, I was able to translate into business. So 12 months, I was pretty much blackballed, because when you at that level, they don't call HR and things like that. They call their friends and say, why Sterling is on LinkedIn or whatever. They say, yo, don't give him a job. I was blackballed for about 12 or 13 months. Then I finally got another offer from another company out here in Jersey, another major corporation, and they was hit me off and let me run the half of New Jersey. But after going through what I went through, the accolades and things like that, I realized that all of that can be stripped from you. Everything but you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be the president of the company at one point. And then at another point, everything can be stripped from you, and none of that means anything. So when I got that offer, I was like, you know what? F you. I'm going to take a risk.
Right.
And dive into this real estate thing with no experience, with major responsibilities, my 2 kids. And
that was your driving force.
Yeah, and I just dived in. Now, that's things like that are risks to me. Not what we were talking about earlier, when I can tell you 1 + 1 is 2 and we can make a profit. Taking that, these guys gave me an opportunity to take a salary, get a bonus, and live comfortably again. But I said no with my 2 kids, and I went into a field that I had no idea what I was going to do. That's a risk. Riding on a train, I'm going to go back a little to Brownsville. Riding on a train every day, jewelry, weapon, all kinds of things on me, going to school every day. That's a risk. So that's what I mean when it comes to taking a risk, like really understanding the difference, because money can be replaced.
That is true.
And right now, I'm exchanging my money for time.
Right. I like how we talking about that whole risk. Because when you're working like a 9 to 5, right, you every 2 weeks or every week, you are guaranteed a paycheck. Once you transition your life to an entrepreneur, that is a risk, because if you don't hunt, what it say? You eat what you kill, right?
Right.
So if you don't hustle, you don't eat. It's not as glamorous as it appears to be on Instagram or quote unquote TV, and you will hit some growing pains. Just going back to my first year, I told my broker, like, look, I got a year to live, but it was more like 8 months once your daily expenses, come into play. Like my first year, I was doing Uber because I was not going to work for anyone. So until you're ready to just put it all out on the table and take all kinds of risk, You may want to keep your 9 to 5 if you don't want to, not have your hair done or not be in your like at your best. You might want to be comfortable. You have to get uncomfortable so you can get comfortable, is what I'm trying to say. So shout out to you, Sterling. Now, I know you've been investing 3 years, but when you originally started investing in 16, the market was quite different too. Like the houses,
way different.
you can, buy something still at $30,000. You
Yes.
can't buy anything.
Not one thing.
Pre-rehab, $250.
Right.
That's a whole fact.
Right.
Pre-rehab, $250. So let's talk about 3 years ago when you started investing versus now, because that's a big change.
Yes.
No, absolutely. My partners and I was just talking about that. You can identify rehab properties at like 75, 100,000 and things of that nature. Now, like you said, they going from 200,000 to 300,000. Now, I just looked at a 3-family rehab at 300,000 before any work is done.
Where is the property located?
In Newark.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
just
profit
saw one
margins are, they're high, but
Yeah.
by the time you rehab it, you're going to be breaking even, if not taking the loss, if you don't know what you're doing. Would you recommend a first-time investor fix and flipping and or buying and holding? I know y'all want to hear this. Shout out, Brother Boo. Hey, Dwayne.
I would, if it all depends on your resources and who you leveraging, right? So, like my self, my partner slash brother slash mentor Ken, he pretty much trained me on the game. He inspired me to come out here. He used to, so we're gonna go back a little bit. That's cool with you guys?
That's cool.
All right. So I like to paint a story and a picture so you guys can really understand what's taking place. I was in corporate America, and when I was comfortable going back to that, right, I used to come out here with Ken, and I would take notes and then go back to my comfortable job, right, because I had a corporate car, a corporate card. I could fly around. My hardest days was on Mondays. Why? Because I had conference calls from 9 to 5. Those was my hardest days. Other than that, I was just conducting presentations and developing people and working through others. That's pretty much it. So I would constantly come out here and just take notes because I was comfortable. And then when I got uncomfortable, that's when I dived out here, right? Once I became uncomfortable. So going back to your question, I was able to lean on Ken and my other partner, Tone, who already had a foundation out here in New Jersey. So they already had relationships with the HVAC, the plumbing, the electrical, and already had their team in terms of contractors and things of that nature. So I was able to leverage those guys, which made my life a lot easier. But if you don't have those in play, I wouldn't do that. I would dive into a hole first and then build my resources and my network, because a contractor will destroy your entire game plan, your entire dreams. I met these guys in the gym before COVID, and these 3 guys, they was buddies. One guy, really close. One guy was the money guy, the investor. The other guy was the architect, and the other guy was the contractor. A year later, they wanted to kill the contractor because he destroyed their entire game plan and all their investments. So you have to understand who you're dealing with in terms of contractors, and have relationships and people you can really lean on before you really dive into fixing and flipping. So I would dive into a hole first and then build my network.
Right. But see, that's the thing. You don't know who you can trust until you actually start doing business with them. So that's a risk also in itself. Like, we can always go off word is bond. We can always go off your previous project. But when you do a project with that person, you be like, you know what? Nah, that wasn't it. But and then on the other hand, it might be we're going to do great business together. So those are risks too. When you know, partner up with other people's partners. And actually, Kenny was one of the first people who I met also in this business. So I know exactly what you mean when you said take under the wing and show you the steps. So now that you are investing and it's been 3 years later, what do you like about it? What do you love about investing? Tell us. Besides the fiscal point, what do you love? I mean,
because that's important,
right?
but-
No, it is important, and I'm a very simplistic person, and it's time. Like I mentioned to you guys earlier, I'm exchanging money, investing my money, and buying back my time, which is the most important commodity. So I may be diving in. There's some days that is smooth sailing, then there's other days when I'm working the entire day. But that's cool because my partners and I, we have a game plan, right? And we have goals to retire very early. So it's cool with putting in the time and the work from that perspective, but it will pay off because these are things that we're building our selves. And also the people that we've been impacting, right?
Most importantly, because Flip That Trap is a banging name. Who came
Thank
up
you
with
so
that?
much. Thank you so much.
It's not a slogan, but who came up with the name Flip That Trap? That sounds like a TV show.
My other partner, I'm gonna say both of her names so I can blow her up.
Please do.
Tiffany Cooper, your government.
Is that Muff?
And Muff Diamonds, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
You call her government?
Yeah, I'm on it
Miss
like that.
Cooper?
I'm throwing shots everywhere.
The name Muff is real sexy, really dope. We would have loved to have her on the show as well. But yeah, that name was definitely it's catchy. So we talked about what you like. What don't you like about real estate and or investing? We all have our gripes. So give us your top like 2 things if you can just not do these 2 things and still have a great day.
What to following up to issues things that other people should have addressed already. Like that's because one train can slow up everything when it comes to fixing and flipping. So if the plumber, the HVAC guy, or someone didn't do their job, then that's a hold up. Or the permits, the paperwork process that may hold up the job as well. So just things from that nature. I'm pretty much an easy going guy. I like pitfalls and obstacles. I think they were just built in me as a child. So I'm accustomed to dealing with them all the time. But the tedious things is just following up to things that should have been addressed and or just paperwork that hold up projects.
I have to agree with that because that's one thing as an investor I think a lot of people don't realize. Like sometimes you can go to a job and you would expect something to be done. And then like you said, the HVAC guy is blaming the plumbing guy for not finishing the work, but the plumbing guy is blaming the electrician. And it's just like, it could be really, really crazy. So I'm actually glad that you have actually stated that because I think that's something that a lot of people overlook when it comes to investing. You have to be, give everyone, it has to be on a time schedule. Like you have to be on top of people. And although it's not a job that you're working per se, you're still the boss. Like you have to delegate and you have to make sure that everyone is doing their job and on time. So that was good.
Shout out to Miss Strickland. We all know she's the multi-family queen. That's the nickname I gave her. It's my partner. She's on our live today. Now, everyone wants to know, how do you finance your projects?
Well, we have multiple ways, whether it's through hard money lenders, also through investing, where we have investors that invest in any projects that we're building out, and also leveraging your resources again, like leveraging your credit and things of that nature. That's how a lot of us pretty much started, by leveraging your credit. I always tell people that tell me, oh, I got an 850 credit score and things like that. I always tell them, like,
What you
when
doing
you
with it?
die, yeah. But when you die, no one's going to come to your funeral and say, yo, you know what?
Dwayne will be.
Sterling had a great credit score. No one's going to say that. No one cares. So if you're not leveraging your credit, then what are you doing, right? Just understanding the importance of good credit. I mean, good debt and bad debt. Right, and it's good debt when your debt is actually working for you. Bad debt when you just running up cards recklessly, waiting on the Louis Vuitton line to give them all your bread.
That line do be long, right, Cat?
And I like luxury things as well. It's all good. Like I explained to my investors as well. Like the luxury apartments, cars, the trips, designer clothes, that's all good. That's cool. That's the perks that comes with hard work, right? That's the perks with, like we said, enduring the pain that comes with success. That's the perks that comes with the risk. But the most important commodity is time, moments, and memories. That's what I'm trying to capture, because those things you can't replace.
Amen.
You don't get those back. Money, I lose on a deal. We gonna raise money, and or if one of our other deals sold, we're gonna use that money to invest in another one. It doesn't stop from that perspective. Cars can be replaced. Everything else can be replaced besides time, moments, and memories. And that's pretty much what I'm focused on from that perspective.
Cool. For the next 5 minutes, we're going to get into Cat with these BK Lobster questions that they're dying to know about.
So, I know we do for time, but can you go into a little bit regarding what's this newest project you're doing with BK Lobster? I know you have a few franchises opening up. So what's the ultimate goal with that, and what exactly is it?
Yes, BK Lobster World. Just giving you the origins of BK Lobster. My childhood friend, Rodney Barnes, our CEO. It was his vision. It's his baby. It's his idea. And all of us as friends and individual entrepreneurs came together collectively to invest in his vision. And that's really the dope thing about what we're doing, because we're all individual entrepreneurs that put our egos aside and playing our positions from a corporate perspective and a partnership perspective to drive this business. Our first restaurant we opened up on Nostrand Avenue, 535 Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn. We opened that one up 2019. That was our first one. And since then, during a pandemic, it's been on fire. We're up to 30 locations. We're about in 9 states. We have 5 locations in Brooklyn. We're opening up one in Harlem. We have another opening up in Hoboken, Miami, Virginia, Baltimore, Connecticut, Detroit, Atlanta.
You missed one.
Right here.
Ooh, how can I do that?
Yeah.
And New Jersey. New Jersey, we have about 11 locations in New Jersey that we're opening up. Our first one we opened up was on Elizabeth.
Yes.
Is in Elizabeth.
Yes.
11 Broad Street in Elizabeth.
And where are your other Jersey locations?
Hoboken, that one will be opening up May 8th. Then after Hoboken, we have Maplewood. That one is May 21st.
Where
Then
in
we
Maplewood is that one going to be?
say that again.
Where in Maplewood?
On Maplewood Avenue,
Oh, okay.
right at the
Mhm.
train station.
Right
Yeah.
next to, right
Nice.
next. Ooh. Oh yeah, right next to.
Get off of work and pick up some dinner, guys.
Yeah, we're not going to shout out that company, but
Absolutely.
yeah, that was a good move.
Yeah, so we have Maplewood, then Little Falls, Newark, two in Jersey City as well.
I'm curious to hear about this Little Falls location. Let me know how that worked out up there.
Oh, absolutely. We definitely do
that's
that.
Gonna be a real big one. Given that demographic. See,
So-
Hoboken is different than Little Falls, so I would love to hear this success story because once you hit Little Falls, it's over.
Really?
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I think it's gonna be a success because that food.
Everybody
oh
eat,
my
right?
God. That food. I had. What did I have? Like a Bob Marley something with jerk shrimp or jerk sauce with the lobster roll. Oh my God.
Our biggest and our biggest sellers is the Biggie roll.
Okay. I don't
There's
think
the best style Biggie roll.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Biggie was big, literally and figuratively. So that particular roll, we add extra lobster. Have the lobster sauce with lemon dressing. That's one of our biggest sellers. Also, the crab legs, the steamed crab legs is as well. We have the Flatbush roll.
Maybe that's what I had.
Named or Brooklyn themed for the most part.
Absolutely,
Makes sense.
BK
BK
Lobster.
Lobster, exactly.
Yeah. So we just wanted to embody the Brooklyn culture and the diversity of Brooklyn community and cultures, right? And also using hip hop because it's lobster rolls the Brooklyn way, right? If you know anything about hip hop, you know Biggie mentioned that in one of his songs. So we embody in the whole culture of Brooklyn, and that's what we decided to do with our lobster rolls.
Before you go, we got like 2 more questions to ask you, Mr. King.
Well, let's get it.
So, do you have? Did they have any questions first of all?
No, I don't think anyone had questions.
Can you leave them with your contact information or, in case someone wants to reach out to you as far as advice on investing or probably even join a franchise? What would be the best way for them to get more information?
Absolutely. Since we in a social media world, my IG account is Sterl, S as in Sterling, T as in Tom, E as in Eddie, R as in Ruben, L as in Lincoln, my last name King, Sterl King. On IG as BK Lobster. You guys can hit me in my email address. It's pretty much Sterling at bklobsternjc.com.
And tell us where this Elizabeth store again and the Hoboken store in Maplewood, so they can actually come out to those stores.
The Elizabeth store is located on 11 Broad Street in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Hoboken is 732 Washington Street, Hoboken. And Maplewood is 181A Maplewood Avenue. All 3 locations are located in New Jersey.
We'll post these locations on our Instagram later. We are so very, very excited again to have Mr. Sterling King come on to give us some knowledge and jewels on investing, most importantly, taking risks, and how his corporate background gave him pretty much the vigor or the discipline to start his new journey. And most importantly, he said if you forgot that he didn't attend college, so you do not always need a college degree to be successful. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but make sure y'all go and support BK Lobster in all 3 locations.
Yes.
In all 3 of those locations, please reach out to Mr. King on Instagram and support your fellow small business. I don't want to say black business. I'm going to say small business. And we'll see you guys actually next week. We are taking a break. We are tired. We're going to take a little 2-second break so we can rev it up. And see you guys next week. I'm Miss Madison Realty of Christie's.
Candace of Group 26 Real Estate.
Cat with Remax.
And Sterling.
I'm here. BK Lobsters, flip that trap. We in the building.
See you guys in 2 weeks.